So make sure that when you choose audiology, it's something that you really want to do. It's something that you really like. Don't choose audiology because I influenced you to do audiology.
Yeah. Hello everyone, welcome back to Becoming Dr. Andy. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for watching one of my videos once again. And if you're new here, welcome. I hope you do stay and become a part of my journey as I become Dr. Andy. I would like to welcome you once again on another episode where I get to sit with a health sciences student or a health sciences professional, where we get to talk about their career and their journey through healthcare. So on today's episode, we have Udokotela Wendlebe, none other than Natasha Ndlovu. She's here to tell us more about audiology and to give you useful information if you would like to study audiology. So make sure that you stay tuned up until the end of the video so that you do not miss out on any important information. Make sure you like this video and you share it with all your friends that might need to hear this information. Hi Natasha, how are you?
Hi, I'm okay, and how are you?
I'm good, thanks. We're actually matching today. Do you guys wear any other colored scrubs?
So basically when you're in second year, obviously the whole class has to wear the same color scrubs, which is black for everyone, that's standard. But when we get to third year, then we're given like freedom of choice to choose any color, so you don't really have to match with your classmates.
Oh, I see. Because I think I always see you guys audiology student matching, and I'm just wondering what's going on with the black, because we get to wear multiple colors, but I get it now. Thank you so much for being part of this podcast today, and I know that people are literally gonna love the information that you're about to give them. And I know our mutual followers on TikTok as well, they are probably so happy to see us together, because I know I get questions about you, whether I know you in person, and I think maybe you probably get questions as well, whether you know me in person. So probably they are actually so happy right now. If you are a mutual follower, please show some love on the comments, okay? So today I just want us to talk more about audiology in a nutshell for a high school student who has no idea what audiology is. I mean, when it comes to the health sciences faculty, medicine is the well-known thing. People don't know that there are other careers that they can go into, audiology, speech therapy, and all of that stuff. So today I just want us to focus on your career that you are literally undertaking right now, for people who are in high school to actually get to know more about it and get to know how to actually qualify to study and what more opportunities they can get when they become an audiologist. So I would just first want to ask the big question: why audiology for you?
First of all, I just want to start by saying thank you for having me on your show. I have been getting a lot of these questions and finally I get to answer them. So why audiology? I always get that question a lot. People always say, why not medicine? And I'm like, number one, I felt in high school when I was, so the subjects that I had, one of the subjects I had was life sciences. Yeah. And I really fell in love with life sciences, and one of my favorite topics there under life sciences was when we did the central nervous system, and we got to study the ear and the eye, and that was where I would get most of my marks. So then I would go and Google, because I knew that I need to get into a career that has to do with either the eye or the ear.
Okay.
So when I started doing my research, I saw that audiology popped up a lot when I used to search about the ear. And I was like, audiology, I've actually never heard of that, and I've never seen anyone saying that they study audiology. So I started looking it up. I started looking where I could study audiology, what it is about, what I would do after I studied, and also the fact that it doesn't really take a lot of time to study audiology. So I was like, okay, this could be the career of my choice.
Oh, okay, that's actually such a great story. A lot of people, I feel they get inspiration from life sciences in order to get into medicine or any other health sciences professional. And I think you just have a similar story to most people. And I think the most amazing thing about audiology is that you do not have to study medicine and then specialize and become an audiologist, because it's not like you can take a BSc in cardiology. You get what I'm saying? You have to do medicine and study all the things that you're not really interested in. So you mentioned something like it's not like a lengthy degree. How long does it take, like on average, to complete?
So undergraduate studies are a maximum of 4 years. So you study for 4 years, of which your first year is just like your theory. You don't do any clinical work, and then clinical work starts in second year, third year, and fourth year, and then you literally graduate after fourth year. And then the fifth year, that's when you do like community services, where you get placed into like either a government hospital or like a community center, and you do like basically community service in that area for like 1 year, and then you're an audiologist.
Oh, okay, that's really great. So I would like to know, which subjects did you take like in grade 10, and what subjects exactly are the most important, or are the ones that are required for someone to be able to study audiology?
So in audiology, we don't discriminate at all.
Yeah.
Let me first start off with my subjects that I took. I took English, home language. I had maths, life sciences, business studies, history, life sciences, and I think I'm forgetting something. What else am I forgetting? But I know I did not take physics.
Okay.
Basically, at the time, my subjects were mixed up, because when I chose my subjects in grade 10, I really wasn't interested in going to university. I actually wanted to go to a fashion school. So hence I had like a mix, so that when I finally apply, I can get to apply in different areas.
Okay, I see.
But like subjects that are specific to audiology that are required for UCT, because it differs with universities. So with UCT, when you apply to audiology, you either have to take English home language or English first additional. And for those subjects, you need to have a minimum of 65%.
Oh, 65.
And then for maths and either maths lit, so if you take pure maths, you need to have a minimum of 60%. And for maths lit, it's 70%.
Oh, so the maths lit is actually accepted.
That's why I'm saying that we don't discriminate.
It's one thing that I didn't know, because people ask me, what career can I do? I have maths literacy. I know medicine doesn't accept maths literacy. And audiology never popped up in my mind that they actually do accept people who have done maths literacy. So here you have it, guys. If you are looking for a career in health sciences and you have maths literacy, you can literally have audiology as one of your options.
I just want to say to you guys that just because you got the minimum, the 60% or the 65 or the 70 minimum, it doesn't mean that you will get accepted, because the competition is very tough. Just to add on, to give you guys like a bit of my story, is that I met these minimum requirements, and even above, like with my grade 11 report, I always get the question that people asking me, my grade 11 report is terrible, will they accept me? It does have an impact on your application, because I did meet the minimum requirements. I had like 70s on my report and maybe like 280s, and UCT was just like, girl, you just have to wait a bit, your marks aren't good. So meeting the minimum requirements really doesn't guarantee you space. Like, you have to push. And also, because with my degree, they only have an intake of 30 people out of the thousands and thousands of applications that they receive. So they only take 30 students. So you can just imagine how tough the competition is.
Yeah, it is, because like I was about to ask, because I've heard that your class is really small compared to us. We are like 200 to 20 to 40 in a class. Do you have like any idea why they actually accept like less people?
I actually haven't looked into that, hey.
You don't know, hey? Because I'm just thinking like 30 people like a year.
It's very few.
It's very few. And now the competition is probably like 10 times harder.
It is, and as we go up the years, the number just keeps on going down.
It keeps on going down. Which means you guys graduate like 5 people.
Yeah, I heard that with the class of 2022, only like about 19 people graduated.
Really?
So the numbers go down.
Yo, do people like transfer, or do people just like fail courses and then just remain behind?
Obviously, some like transfer, because we do have, I don't know if I should refer to it as like our sister course, which is speech therapy. It's a bit, it's not really similar, but we work together.
Oh, I see.
So sometimes you might decide, because we do share courses with them in first year. So sometimes people will be like, okay, I actually don't like audiology, let me transfer to speech. Or others transfer to like outside faculties, obviously, and things do happen. Sometimes it happens that you repeat a course.
Yeah, oh, I see. So I'd just like to know, like, which universities in South Africa offer audiology?
Currently, I only know 5 universities that offer audiology, which is UCT, WITS, University of Pretoria, and SMU and UKZN. But I just want to warn the people that want to apply that when you're going to come to Audiology UCT, it is a Bachelor of Science, but when you go to WITS and UP, it falls under the Humanities faculty. So when you graduate, it's a Bachelor of Arts, and I have no idea why it's like that.
Oh, really?
And at SMU, the audiology is combined with speech therapy.
Yo, that's actually so important, because I mean, people would think like, okay, audiology is just the same thing, no matter where I do it. Because now I'd think that it does affect your career and like your career path.
I think so.
Yeah, because if you have like a BSc and someone has a BA, it's surely not like the same thing.
That's what I think also.
So it's like so important for you guys to take this stuff into consideration and to actually like do your research before you know, apply to a certain career or apply to a certain university, because they offer like different programs even if it's like the same degree.
I applied to UCT, WITS, and UWC, but I obviously didn't apply for the same course everywhere. So it was only at UCT where I applied for audiology, because to me it was a bit questionable to have audiology under Bachelor of Arts at WITS. So hence I just left it out at WITS and only applied at UCT. So for me it was a thing of, I compared audiology in South Africa and I tried to also look it up like abroad, like people that study audiology abroad. And when like the information that I found when looking at people abroad, their degree was like a science-based degree. So when I came back to South Africa and I was like, okay, why are they offering it under Bachelor of Arts? To me, that was just questionable. So that's why I went with UCT, where it was under Bachelor of Health Sciences.
Because I would assume so. Like, I mean, if you're going to be studying like speech therapy and audiology, like in just like 4 years, and then at UCT you have 4 years of speech therapy and then you have 4 years of audiology, like it's kind of like, I don't know whether do they get to study enough or is their degree like more hectic that they have to squeeze 2 degrees in once?
For me, so what I heard with one of my lecturers when we were having a conversation, he said that because he's one of the top audiologists here in South Africa, he was saying that he goes around doing research at different universities that offer audiology. And what he found at those universities like SMU that combine speech therapy and audiology is that they're not like people, like for example, I'm more interested in audiology. So when I graduate, the graduates tend to like lean on one thing and not like handle both degrees. So when they did that research, they found that people actually like aren't being competent in that one area. So I heard that they're also working on scraping it out and actually having it as like 2 separate degrees. So what our professor was telling us is that UCT is actually one of the first universities in South Africa to introduce new courses to audiology, like public health audiology, which we basically don't just look at audiology as being a clinician, but like outside and considering different scopes.
Okay,
so we actually have more courses that other universities don't provide to their students that actually study audiology.
Okay, so in your opinion, you'd say like UCT audiology is
I definitely vouch for UCT audiology. And also, I mean, who doesn't want to live in Cape Town?
I just want you to take us back to the time when you were in grade 12 and you now started applying. I mean, now you know that, okay, there are 5 universities that offer audiology and you start with your application process. So I just want to know what exactly is required, like your results. Do they want your grade 11? Do you want your grade 12 term 1? What exactly is required?
Okay, so what they want when you apply is obviously your grade 11 term 4 results, and usually you apply around April, so that's where you only have your grade 11 and grade 12. So the requirements for then when you apply is your grade 11 term 4 and your grade 12 term 1, and those really do they can make or break you.
Besides, you know, the results, grade 11 and grade 12 term 1, were you required to do anything else? Because I know other health and rehab degrees, they want you to do community service and stuff like that. Is there anything like that for audiology?
Okay, so in first year, you are required to do like, they're called elective hours. You can either do them before first year or when you get to UCT first year.
Okay.
So you can go do like your elective hours. I think it's like 30 hours that are needed, where you can either go to like a hospital with an audiologist or like a private practice. You approach the audiologist, they explain to them that you are applying to audiology or you are an audiology student and you'd like to basically like observe what they do on a day-to-day basis.
Okay, so is that information required when you apply, or it's just flexible?
It's
can do
flexible.
it in first day. Okay. So when it comes to NBT, are you required to write NBT if you're applying for audiology?
Yes, you are.
I know a lot of people miss NBTs, you know. They were like, they rejected me, I got 90s in average and stuff like that, but they didn't write NBT. So NBT is literally important. If they are telling you that you have to write NBT as part of the requirements, do not think that your matric results are going to save you. Even if you get 100% on everything, there's still a proportion that is required from your NBT. What were the shocking factors, things that you expected, that you found, and things that you completely didn't expect when you get to first year?
Okay, so when I got to first year, to be honest, I was shocked to find out that I now have to do physics as someone who did not take physics in high school.
Really? You also did physics?
So everyone in first year takes physics, even though it's not a requirement when you apply, but just know that in first year you do have to take physics. So I was very shocked, to say the least. And also just because I thought that it would be like an extension of life sciences, like you were saying. And also I was just met with other courses that I never expected, like your anatomies, your psychology. And I did really question if some courses are really related to what I'm doing. So those are some things I didn't expect. And also just like the biggest is failure. Like you just don't, especially if you like grew up being that A student, never missed prize givings in high school and primary school. It's very difficult to get to university and then you write your first test, boom, you come back with like a 40%. Like, those are one of the difficult things that I did not expect.
I see. Did you also do chemistry as well?
No, it was just like the physics side, like the physics of sound,
So I just want you to like tell us in like broad terms, what exactly do you get to study in audiology? Because I mean, for someone who doesn't know audiology, they'll think you guys are just labeling the ear for 4 years. But then I assume it's a lot that you have to learn about the ear. So give us like in broad terms, what exactly do you get to study?
Okay, so just to define what audiology is, I would like to define it as the science of hearing and balance. And someone that studies audiology is referred to an audiologist, so we specialize in that. So when you study audiology, when you first get to your first year, it's not just about we immediately get to class and we study the ear. Like there should be foundations before you actually know the ear itself. Like I was saying to you, the physics, like you need to know the physics of sound, what sound is, how sound travels. So you need to know all those properties of sound and forces, and the Newton's laws type of thing. So you need to have like the foundational knowledge and before you actually like get into the anatomy of the ear and the physiology of the ear. So also we study languages, like we do linguistics. So you need to know your vowels, your consonants, because that's very important. Like it forms sound.
Yes.
So we basically study like your first year is like basically dedicated to like the basics, like your physics.
So do you get to study like more about the ear in like second year?
It's towards the end of first year, like your second semester, so your courses actually start to look like audiology. In the beginning, you might question a few things and be like, am I really doing audiology? But like those courses are very important because they do come up in like your third year. Like a lot of first year courses definitely come up in your third year.
When exactly do you get to start being like a clinical student? When exactly do you start going to the hospital and being exposed to patients and stuff?
So with the UCT audiology, we start working at the hospital in our second year. So first is just like building up your clinical skills, how to become a professional, and basically learning how to use the different equipment. Then in second year, that's when we're exposed to patients, different populations. We have your pediatrics, old people,
And you guys don't have calls or anything like that? Hey?
No.
Yo, the luxury. I
wish. Could never.
I wish. Oh my God. Because it's literally so exhausting. I'm actually interested to know whether you guys get paid when you go to the hospitals to see patients, because the amount of work we put for 0 rands, it is pure slavery, guys.
It is.
We are too young for this, honestly. I just want to know if you guys at least get compensated for the work that you do.
I mean, that's one of the frequently asked questions. People always ask me, do you get paid for working there? No, we do not get paid for working at the hospitals. It's actually like a course. It's actually one of your courses. It's known as clinical audiology. So it's actually for marks. So in order for you to graduate, yes, you might have gotten distinctions in all your other courses, but in that one specific course, if you don't meet certain hours, then according to the, you know, our regulatory board, the HPCSA, then if you don't meet like 400 hours by the end of 4th year, then you can't graduate. So you're basically working in order for you to graduate. We don't get paid.
Imagine. That's what I always say. You know, we actually pay to work. Have you
pay to work.
That? Like, if you don't pay, you can't go to work. True. I think people will also follow you, want to know, how do you actually balance being an audiology student and actually living your best life? Because you are living your best life. I just want to know as well. I mean, I'm asking for a friend. How you actually do it.
Okay, so what I do is that my friends and I have this like thing where we hold each other accountable. We do like random video calls where we check up on each other. If you are not by your desk and you're not studying, then if it means that we're going out over the weekend, you are not coming.
You are not
coming with us. If you're not working during the week, then we are definitely leaving you behind. So we always try to push as much as we can, even if it means like having days where we meet up on campus and study like throughout the week. That's what we do. And then we make sure that weekends we try to have them to ourselves. So that's how we try to balance things. We hold each other accountable.
Oh, that's actually great. I mean, I feel like having, you know, supportive friends, it's such a blessing, you know. It's not like an easy thing that anyone can have them. If you have them, I feel like it's such a good thing. So let's talk about what happens now. Let's say you finished your 4 years of study, which is going to be soon for you. And then what happens after that, after you graduate?
Okay, so after your graduation in 4th year, in your 1st year, there's what we call community service. So that's where your university, basically in your 4th year, you're given like different options and then you apply to different hospitals.
Okay.
So you get picked into one of the hospitals that you apply to do your community service there for 1 year. So that's where you do everything audiology related. And yes, in your community service, you do get paid. But I mean, obviously it's not that much because I mean, you're still like a junior.
Oh, do you somehow know how much, like the range?
I have
from
no
what
idea. The people that always tell me, like my clinical supervisors, they just say it's not that much. That's all they say. But yeah,
that's so subjective because like if it's 30K, it's not that much. If it's, you know, even doctors will tell you don't get paid that much.
After that 1 year comserve, if like there is a post at the hospital, then they might just take you permanently. But if there's no post, then obviously that's for you to start looking for jobs. If you want to come back and do your post-grad, then you can always come back and do postgraduate studies.
Sure, that was actually such a very informative conversation. I did not know much about audiology before this conversation, and now I also feel like, you know, I've learned a lot as well. So I just want you to give, you know, people who are in high school or people who would like to study audiology, just a piece of advice.
So the first thing I'd like to start with is that the numbers do drop as we go up the years. So make sure that when you choose audiology, it's something that you really want to do. It's something that you really like. Don't choose audiology because I influenced you to do audiology. Like, make sure that it's something that you really want to do and something that you will stick by, because it does get tough when you get here. It's not always these vlogs that you see on TikTok or YouTube, you know. Life does get real. So if you're studying something that you don't like, you're definitely going to have a hard time adjusting to university and dealing with all the challenges that you face. And also just like character-wise, personality-wise, you need to be someone that thinks very fast. You need to be like a very flexible person, because I mean, in a clinical environment, like patients don't always come in with the same concerns and stuff. So you have to be very flexible in a sense that while you're talking to the patient, you must already know what to do and already know what diagnosis you might give the patient. So yeah, just some of those things. And like most importantly, your mental health does come first, because if you're not mentally in check, then nothing is going to move forward. So yeah, that's just a piece of advice that I'd like to give.
Thank you so much. I think that was brilliant advice, and I hope you guys are going to take it. Thank you so much, Natasha, for having this conversation with me. I hope a lot of people actually learned a lot today, and they are going to go and do their research about audiology, especially those who didn't know about it and those who wanted to study audiology from the beginning. They are now more inspired.
Thank you for having me on your show. And if any of you guys do have any messages, then you can just like get in contact with me. If you feel like you still have more questions, then I can help you.
Definitely. So we've come to the end of this episode. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you have any questions, comment down below. I'll also attach Natasha's details so that you can slide in her DMs and ask her more about her career. And comment if you have any health sciences student or health sciences professional that you have in mind that you want me to invite and have a conversation with. And most importantly, if you are a health sciences student or a healthcare professional and you would like to come and have a conversation with me, please write me an email on becomingdrandy@gmail.com and we will definitely make it happen. Please don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and share the video. I'll see you again on another episode. Bye. Thank you.